One of the biggest turning points in your photography journey is when your photos stop feeling like a bunch of random scattered one-off photos and start feeling like they fit into a larger body of work with a cohesive style. But finding your own style isn't a straightforward path, and I think there's a lot of confusion around how to do this. Now, I've spent some time recently looking back at the last 10 years of my photography, evaluating how my style has changed, what has stayed the same, and what eventually became the foundation of my style today. And that's given me a lot of clarity on how style actually works in photography, and also how you can go about finding your own unique photography style as well. So today in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I'm going to share with you guys my 3-step process that I think you can follow to finding your own unique photography style as well. And by the way, most of the photos in this video were edited with my Film Vibes preset pack. I'll put a link down in the description. You guys can check that out. It's currently on sale, but I also have a free pack as well that is linked down below as well. But okay, I want to start this video off with first talking about what style actually is in photography. I think we need to have a definition of it before we jump into the nitty-gritty. Now, I think style can be defined as the consistent use of specific visual or thematic elements in our work. Now, these visual or thematic elements can be a number of different things. It could be the consistent use of subject matter. So you're shooting the same type of subject matter with all of your photos. Maybe that's cars, or maybe it's something like portraits. It could be consistently shooting in similar lighting conditions. So maybe you're always going out and shooting in really dramatic light at sunrise and sunset, or maybe it's always shooting in hard light and really embracing that high contrast look. It could also be a certain way that you compose your photos, or even using a consistent color palette across your entire body of work. And of course, it can also be the story that your photos are telling as well. Maybe all of your images tell a very consistent story, or they all elicit a certain type of emotion, and that is consistent across your entire body of work. But the key here is that style is not just one of these things. It's not just the light that you shoot in. It's not just the subject matter that you shoot. It's the unique combination of all of them and how you consistently use them in your work over time. For example, my style is defined by very bold colors. I'm not afraid to bring color into my scenes. I like to lean into specific colors and really enhance the drama of a scene through color, but I also like a darker exposure as well. I like to have my images looking a little bit moody, and I also like to have one very clear subject set against an interesting background. And you'll see that in a lot of my images, it's not necessarily all about the subject, but it's rather how that subject kind of exists in this cohesive setting, and they fit very naturally into it. Or looking at Jack Harding, who's another photographer I've always really admired. He likes pretty high contrast scenes, but also very clean and dynamic compositions. He likes to use things like negative space, depth, and diagonal lines of interest to really isolate his subject and guide the eyes around the composition. And all of his images kind of tell this story of a dude driving around with a Porsche that likes nice things. And he does a really fantastic job of capturing that vision. Or looking at James Popsis, who's another fantastic photographer who you guys probably know. James typically leans towards brighter exposures, and he likes to photograph very ordinary scenes. He uses a lot of negative space in his photos, and he also likes clean compositions that are shot at eye level. Nothing about James's work is super crazy or dramatic or out there. He's trying to capture an accurate depiction of real life, and he does so in a beautiful way. But when you take a closer look at a photographer's style, whether it's mine, Jack's, James, or any of your other favorite photographers, you'll start to see that their styles are all made up of a unique combination of small creative choices that, when put together, create a visual signature that is unique to them. That's what style is. And if you can break down style and understand it in this way, it's going to be a lot easier for you to find your own unique photography style as well. But that doesn't really tell you how you can find your own unique photography style. So now I want to shift over and talk about the 3-step process that I think you can follow to finding your own unique photography style. And the first step is to identify our preferences with photography. What do you like to see in an image? If you had a perfect photo, what would that photo look like? Now, this might sound simple, but it's incredibly important, because if you don't know what you actually like to see in a photo, how are you supposed to know what direction you want to take your work? And the best way to truly know what you're drawn to or what your preferences are in photography is to create a mood board, or what I like to call a vision vault. Now, if you don't already have a general mood board for your photography, I cannot highlight how important this is for you as a photographer, especially if you're trying to find your unique style going forward. A mood board gives us a very clear direction that we want to take our work in going forward, and it also helps us identify the specific stylistic elements that we like to see in a photograph. Now, I have a mood board that I call my vision vault, and it just has a bunch of images that I found online that I am inspired by. I make changes to it often, I add things, and I remove things as my taste changes over time. I'll put a link to my mood board down below if you guys want to check it out. I use Milanote to create it, but you can use something like Pinterest, or you can even create one physically if you wanted to. But just having that inspiration around and creating a mood board is not enough to find your own unique photography style. You need to sit down and take a very close look at those images and identify specifically what you like about them. Now, I like to do this directly on my mood board, as Milanote allows you to do that, but you can also just write this down, or you can simply just visualize it and think about these things in your head. But I like to write out a few notes, making sure I'm hitting on all of these categories in my mood board. And the first one is subject matter. So are there any common themes with the subject matter in your mood board? Are all of those photos in your mood board of cars? Are they all of portraits? Are they still life? See if you can find any common themes in the subject matter in that scene. I like to touch on lighting. So is there a specific type of light that you like? Are all of those images shot in a really soft light? Or are they shot at nighttime with artificial lights? Or maybe they're shot with really dramatic light at sunrise or sunset. See if you can find some themes around light. Composition as well. Are those compositions clean? Is there negative space? Or are they really busy and there's a lot going on? Are they dynamic? Is there movement involved in the scene? I like to look at color as well. Are there any dominating colors throughout the work? Do they lean more towards the warm side? Or do they lean more towards the cool side? And of course, the story as well. Looking at all of those images and asking yourself, is there a common story across all of these images? What are some of the emotions that I feel when I look at these images as a whole? Now, the point of this exercise is, like I said, to identify what you're truly drawn to in photography. There's no better way to do that than by bringing together all of your favorite images in one place and finding specific themes across all of those images. Because those themes and those patterns that you identify give you an incredibly clear direction for where you're going to take your style. And that leads me on to step number 2 that I like to call process, or actually taking those stylistic elements or those themes that you identified in your mood board and actually translating them into your own work. And I think this is where a lot of photographers get stuck. It's easy to know what you like to see in a photo, but it's hard to translate those things into your own work. And I think a lot of photographers look at another photographer who they admire and they try to copy their style one-to-one, trying to do everything all at once. Now, not only is that difficult to do because you're trying to account for all these different stylistic elements, but also if you just copy everything from another photographer, your style is not going to be very unique, is it? Instead, I think we should pull inspiration from many different photographers at once, picking and choosing which stylistic elements we like from each of them, and then incorporating those stylistic elements into our own work one at a time. For example, say that you love the way that Jack composes his photos. You love that his compositions are dynamic, they're really interesting, but you also like James's focus on the ordinary and how we can capture these really ordinary scenes in a beautiful way. And then maybe you also like the really dramatic light that I shoot in, or the bold colors that I like to use in my photos. Well, when you bring all those individual elements that you got from other photographers into one style, that's how you create a unique photography style. But when you do try to incorporate these stylistic elements into your work, you shouldn't try to do it all at once. The key here is to hyper-focus on one or two of those stylistic elements at once. So for example, this might mean going out and shooting a specific type of subject matter that you identified in your mood board for a day. Or maybe it's shooting with a specific color palette in mind that you identified in your mood board. Or it can even be shooting in a very specific type of light that you identified that you like. When you really focus in on one specific thing, you're going to be able to understand how to capture that look a lot faster than when you're trying to do everything all at once. So far we've talked about identifying our preferences with photography and then incorporating those stylistic elements into our own work. But there is a third step, and I think it's the most important step in finding your unique photography style. And that's what I like to call progression. And up until now, everything has been very intentional, right? Intentionally creating a mood board and intentionally incorporating the stylistic elements that we like into our own work. But progression is where your style becomes less intentional and more instinctive. Because the more often you make certain creative decisions, whether it's shooting in a certain type of light or composing your shots a certain way, those decisions will start coming to you naturally. And once you do start naturally pursuing these stylistic elements that you really like in a photograph, that is how your style will emerge over time. But the key here really is time. This isn't going to happen overnight. You're not going to be able to watch this video and have your style tomorrow. It's going to take time for you to incorporate those things that you really like to see in a photograph into your own work in a natural way. But like I said, as you continue to shoot, you're just naturally going to seek out these certain things that you like in a photograph. With my style, I don't think about the things that I'm photographing. I see something that I'm drawn to. I couldn't always tell you why, but I'm drawn to it. I photograph it, and it just fits with everything else that I shoot. And ultimately, I think that's where everyone wants their style to be. You want your style to feel natural to you and not forced. And I do think it can be helpful to kind of force it in the direction that you want it to go in the beginning, but over time, it has to come naturally to you, and it will as long as you continue to make those small creative decisions every time you go out and shoot. Now, I do think there's a way that we can speed this up as well, and that's by constantly reflecting on our work and putting it up against our mood board. So one of the things that I like to do is every month or every few months, I like to take 20 of my favorite photos that I've shot throughout that period of time and then put it up against my mood board. You can just put them next to your mood board, or what I like to do is actually put them into my mood board. You'll see I have a few of my own images in my mood board. And then I ask myself, okay, do my images fit into this mood board? Do they align with the themes that I identified in that mood board when I first reflected on them? If your images do match with that mood board, well, then you're making progress. But if they don't match, well, I think it's time to take a step back and kind of reflect on those themes again. And then once again, going back through and trying to incorporate those things into your work one at a time. I do think it's incredibly important for us to consistently review our work over time. I really like to do this after every time I go out and have a big shoot. I'll take a look at those images and ask myself, do these photos fit the direction that I set out for myself? But the more that you engage creatively and intentionally with this process, I think the faster you are going to find your photography style. It really all does come down to identifying what you like to see in an image, incorporating some of those elements into your own work, and then slowly building those things into your subconscious and then evolving that style over time as well. With that said, I do want to cover a few more tips that I think will help you on your process of finding your unique photography style. And the first one is don't label yourself. I think it's really important to keep an open mind as your style is developing, and don't latch onto one specific look or one specific style or one specific label too early. If you feel pulled in one direction that doesn't exactly fit the initial direction that you laid out for yourself in your mood board, just go for it. Don't be afraid to branch out and experiment with things that catch your eye. I actually just made a video talking about why photographers should photograph a little bit of everything and how it's okay to not niche down and to hop around from various different styles of photography. I'll put a link to that video up here. You guys should check that out. But the gist of that video is every time you experiment with a new style of photography, you're going to pick up certain habits and preferences from that style that's going to transfer over to other styles of photography as well. As long as you're taking photos, it's all relevant to each other. So if you do feel intrigued by another style of photography that's not what you initially had envisioned for yourself, I actually urge you to go and experiment with that thing and try it out, because it's going to shape you into a photographer with more tools in your tool belt. And ultimately, I think that's going to have a positive impact on your style. Now, tip number 2 is to nail down your editing process. And the reason why I say your editing process is because everyone has a slightly different process. The way I edit is probably a lot different from how another photographer edits, and that's different from how another photographer edits, but it's important that you develop your process as a photographer, so then when you do identify certain editing styles that you like, you have the capacity to actually capture that look with your editing software. And a huge part of this is just becoming fluent with your editing software, knowing exactly what adjustments you need to make to capture a certain look. And everyone's process is going to be a little bit different. There's a million different ways to get the same look in Lightroom, but you need to find what works best for you. Now, I have my process nailed down, and that affords me a ton of creative flexibility in the editing phase. So if there is a stylistic look that I like from another photographer, I can incorporate that in the editing process because I have the process and the skills to do that. And if you guys do want to see my Lightroom editing process, I'll put a link to a video up here. I think you guys will enjoy that. But also, I have a Lightroom masterclass that has over 5 hours of super detailed editing videos that I think you guys will get a ton of value out of. I'll put a link down in the description. You guys can check that out. And also, I have my Film Vibes preset pack that I use to edit pretty much all of my images. It matches my style. So if you guys do vibe with my style, my editing style, my photography style, I'd recommend checking that out as well. And last but certainly not least, like I said before, time is your friend here. Your style is going to continuously change over time. Like I said, I've been recently looking back at all of my images throughout the past 10 years, and it's crazy to look at where my photos were 10 years ago and to look at where they are now and to find the similarities between those images, but also the differences as well, and looking at how my style has evolved as my preferences have changed as a photographer. Your style is going to naturally change over time, and I think you should allow it to. It's okay to go back into your mood board and get rid of images that you don't think fit your vibe anymore and to add new ones in there. Ultimately, there's no finish line when it comes to finding your style as a photographer, but I can tell you, as someone who's found my photography style, the creative freedom that it can afford you as a photographer is just immense. And I love being able to go out and shoot pretty much anything I want and not having to think about, oh, is this gonna match what I shoot? Because I naturally gravitate towards shooting things that are going to fit into my portfolio, into my style, and into my larger body of work. So if you are feeling a little bit lost on how to find your photography style, I hope this video gives you a little bit of clarity and perspective on how to do something like that. And I promise if you do the things that we talked about in this video and you give it a little bit of time, you will find your photography style as time goes on. But I really hope this video was helpful for you guys in one way or another. And there's a lot of other videos I have here on the channel that I think will help you in finding your unique photography style. I mentioned a few throughout this video already, but another video that I'd recommend watching is my video about lighting that does a comprehensive overview of light as a photographer. I also have one about composition, which I think you guys will really enjoy, and also about color theory as well. I basically have a video about all the different stylistic elements that we've discussed in this video and how you can improve on each of them. So I'd recommend checking those out. But that is all for this one, guys. I really appreciate you watching until the end of this video. I hope it was helpful for you as well. And I will chat with you again very soon in the next one.